Well, what do you suppose we're going to get ourselves into this time? Stay tuned and I'll tell you in just a second. Welcome back. If you haven't seen my videos before, I'm Ross the Oliver Man, and this may be a familiar scene, as in one of the last videos we spent all that time cleaning up this area, and I have since filled it with more crap. What an amazing thing I have accomplished. And you may say, what an idiot. Well, you probably say that anyway, but you know, this is a mess with a purpose. The weather's not going to really cooperate with me while I'm doing this, but sure, yeah, okay, blow around, that's fine. Apparently our weather's decided to go back to winter for no reason. This is a pile of stuff and all this crap that I need to pick up and throw away that has come out of our building here, because we were trying to make this our parts room and store stuff. I got that shelf on the trailer, or parts bin, like the dealer style bin, and so I need to make room for it, see? And I don't know if I showed inside here, see, one time before, but you see, there was a huge mountain of stuff that just every time I'd get something, I'd set it in there, and before long, stuff happens, yeah. So this is an entire pallet of Simplicity parts. And I got a buddy who's got another YouTube channel that he started on homesteading, and he likes Simplicity. So I called him up and said, come over here, and I got some stuff for you. So if he shows up today in this video, you'll get to meet him. But anyway, that's his pile of stuff. So I guess I should show you all this. This is where we arrived. I finally got this done to this point. I still need to trim it out. I've got trim for the top and for the sides and all this. And I don't know, now that I'm done with it, whether I'm really sold on my idea of using red door track on half of it. It's kind of, I don't know, an acquired taste maybe. It's just not quite how I envisioned it, but I think I'll get used to it, because I'm sure not doing it a second time. But much better than what we had before, see? And it's not as obvious how out of square it was with all this done. I mean, I cheated a lot of stuff in a lot of places. I still need to get up there and screw that trim is not screwed down up top, so I need to try to fudge it around a little bit and it won't be as noticeable. And then I got my door built the other day, which worked out pretty handily, because at first I was like, oh man, I gotta cut a whole sheet. No, idiot, don't do that. I just put it over an extra rib. It's a door, so it's not gonna be you know, as imperative as having it in the right groove. But anyway, I love this cannonball track. It's just effortless. You can't put that into words. I mean, not that this is a super heavy door, but this is just, there's nothing. I mean, it's perfect as far as that goes. I need to get the accompanying stops and stuff. I don't have that yet, and a roller to help hold it against the building, you know. Haven't got that done. Like I said, I don't know when I said that, if it was this video or another video. Haven't been feeling the best, so anyway, this is what I could come up with the other day. And conveniently enough, the 2x6s I bought to make this door, you see, you buy the door edging and then use these to make the door. I had enough left over to make all but one brace for the corners, so that stiffened her up pretty good. And now I'm probably going to screw around and mess with it, and the wind will carry it away and get rid of it. But anyway, I started messing in here, and this was a solid mountain of parts all the way up to the whatever. And I've tunneled my way over to the wall, so I need to keep going. And we got all kinds of stuff in here that we've saved, so I need to rearrange and clean, and you know, hopefully not blow away while I'm talking about this. But I got old roofing here leaned up against the wall to save. We salvaged off of stuff. I've got some on the back wall, and I need to figure out what I need and what I don't need and file accordingly. But all that rattling, I need to get this rest of this trim done on the building, because this building has still more stuff, as you may have seen before, wherever my block went, that's loose. And anyway, that's in the project to do. I did get the genie lift here, so somebody may have saw that in a short video, but I'll pop it up there to try to fix that ridge cap on here, and then this outside piece of tin needs replaced, and then the siding up top, if I yeah, you can't really see, but I got one piece up there with what I'm envisioning, and tear the rest of that garbage off, put all the red siding up all the way across. And my pile here, I've got more gray roof for barn lean-to, which was damaged too, but underneath that is like 4 or 5 more sheets of red that's probably 20 foot long, 22 foot long. So I've got enough to do this wall and maybe some of the back, and I want to build some little what do you want to call it? They're gonna be like fake doors, where trim out the triangle piece to square, but make it a door where I could actually fold it open in case I need the advantage of the full height of getting in the end. So I'm gonna try that. It's something I've always thought of doing and never did. Somebody in the comments in another video said they did it and they had some success with it, so that's what I'm gonna try to do. But then it also opens up another can of worms, which is when you put that rake trim on or whatever up here, it's going to hang down over the edge, so I need to bring out another piece to nail the face to and hold it solid, and then the door's going to have to go under that so it clears it. We'll figure that all out later, but anyway, I'm just thrilled that I got some of this done so that we're making progress. And as soon as he comes and gets this stuff, this will be clean again. I can pick up my trash, and anyway, we'll be on our way. I've got the guy coming to what I want to say, he's going to drop this electric line for me that's up above my head here. I need that down because in order to fix the barn, it's in the way, so I need to be able to get over here. And that was the trouble I had last time. I wanted to come in from this side and screw down all the roof on this back side of the barn, and I couldn't get there because the electric line on this side and the other side had whatchamacallit, lean-to, but it was damaged in this last storm, so I'm going to tear part of it off, get the genie lift up there, fix it all, and then build it back. So anyway, it's been getting worse the longer it's went. It started out as like 1 piece of roof tore off, and then it got to be 2, and now it's up to like 4 or so. There's more that needs replaced while I'm up there, so that's gonna happen. 1, 2, 3, 4 would get the holes closed. That one needs to be replaced, so that would be 5. So probably half a dozen or so. There's the 6th one has holes in it for some reason. I don't know what would have really caused that. That probably blew off at some point before. But hopefully now, once I get that done, that will last the rest of my lifetime, because it's that upper layer. This other layer is no problem ever at all. I mean, it never has really come off. I need to go along there probably while I have it and put the screws in instead, but it's always that top layer. The wind catches under it and peels it off. So hopefully we'll be done with that project. You know what I'm saying. So you'll get to see me use this thing maybe. I really need full concentration while doing this so I don't die, but because last time I had it, it'll definitely make you pucker. It's pretty high up there. So anyway, I signed a paper so they can't sue him if I get killed, so yeah. But anyway, I'm noticing a lot of buzzards flying around, and I'm hoping that that's not, I don't know, I'm hoping that nothing has died. However, I have heard many complaints from neighbors that the buzzards will attack calves, and that's what I'm worried about. There's 2 of them right there, and I'm hoping that that's not what they're thinking. So I'm gonna have to watch that. But yeah, see, there's a whole bunch of roof that's wadded up from office stuff. So one of these days we'll clean all that up too. If we just live to be about 400 years old, that's all we need. Well, another thing I managed to accomplish, just barely, was getting this all put back together. I did realize after that other video, I remembered how this worked. I found a couple on the other planter, but it actually takes 3 pieces for this adjuster. It's got like it looks like a letter T, a pin that sticks through there, and then you set a flat washer that's a slit over the thing, set the unit or wheel arm down over that piece, and then over the top you put another slot that has a triangle cut out, and it captures the top of that pin, and then that adjusts it. I can show you that here in a second. But anyway, for what he's gonna do with it, just planting sweet corn, I just rigged up some bolts for him, and that's gonna be simple enough. When he wants to fold it up to store it, he can take out the top bolt and fold it over, and it should work fine. So this old sucker's pretty rough. I didn't realize exactly how rough it was. You know, I didn't want to, when I bought this other one, which is that 543 Oliver, somebody asked about that in the other video. I bought that mainly because I wanted an Oliver planter, and because this one was acting up sometimes. It would skip. It's got a gearbox and it wouldn't work and whatever, and I just didn't want to use a John Deere. But I didn't realize how bad a shape it actually was in, you know, until this, putting it back together now years later. And I'm gonna keep the other one because he bought it new. It's set up on 30-inch rows for soybeans, so that's gonna stay here. But I got enough of this where Dad should be able to use it for sweet corn or whatever. I got him a cylinder that I don't know what the shape of it is. It came with that 4240, and it had a twisted off fitting in it, so I got that out. He's gonna have to rig up his hoses as necessary, but anyway, that should do what he wants it to do. So we can go look at those pins real quick and I'll show you what I'm talking about. All right, I don't know if we can see in here or not. It's so dark in here, but I'm pretty sure I light them in here. Maybe not. Well, here's the things that hold it down, and I don't have enough of those either. I probably lost them when this stuff all fell to the ground. Well, shoot, there they are. There's 2 pieces of it, what I'm looking for, but I don't see the pin. I know I have one. I'm thinking, the more I think about this actually, that when I started fixing up this other one and messing with it, that I had already realized I was missing pieces back then. So here's a T-pin. It's kind of very wore where it's been in there riding all these years, and that pushes through the hole, and then this would actually be like this over top of it, and then past that, I'm trying to hold the camera and do this, so I don't know if I can do that or not. And then this one with this hole like this goes over the rod or the flat part and captures the pin. So if anybody has a source, I never called the Deere store to see if these are still available. I just doubt they are, but if anybody has some of these, I wouldn't mind acquiring some to put this one back like it's supposed to be, because this one I want to fix up. Also, likewise with these, I think I'm a few short on that. I don't know, I haven't really taken inventory, but I know I don't have enough, and I'm thinking I didn't have enough of those flat things anyway before all this took place. So anyway, if you didn't know, here's the type of way they had when you had your seed hopper full. It would lift up on that plate and then these thingamajigs would be up in the air, and then as you used your seed, it would go down. Kind of interesting, a neat way to, you know, see it from the seat, but whatever. It would be fun to get this going and take it out and plant something with it again, you know, but I don't know if that'll happen. But we do need to get it out of here one of these days, and because this building is just about to go. I mean, there ain't much holding it together but imagination. This is a building that, it was in a totally different place on this farm when Grandpa moved here, whatever it's been, 60, almost 70 years ago. And he moved it, but I think his fatal mistake was this was the end that was open, and he tried to close it in, and then he opened this other end, and I think it lost a lot of its strength. Although it did stand until last year, it started to kind of cave in, and I propped it back up enough to get stuff in and out. But anyway, this thing needs to go and be rebuilt or move on to something else. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. I just figured I'd update you on this 494 situation. Somebody said they thought that the deer dealers must have just given these away, and I agree. There were so many of these around, 494As or whatever. Used to, you'd go to farm auctions and you'd see 2 or 3 of them. I mean, they were everywhere. So obviously it must have been reasonably priced and a popular model, because yeah, you see a bunch of them. But I like old equipment, even if it's a different brand than what I really care to collect. I can't see that go to the scrap. Maybe after I'm dead. I'm sure that's where most of my stuff will end up, but hey, not my problem then. So anyway, I'm here to enjoy it while I'm alive. I guess I do want to make one quick update on this little 1355 before I forget. And this is a good example of forgetting things. In that one video where I got everything to turn, somebody said, well, why didn't any oil come shooting out? And well, I just naturally responded, because it doesn't have oil in it. And then I realized, uh-oh, it didn't have oil in it the whole time. So that was not a very smart thing to probably do. There's a little bit on the stick, and I mean, you could tell it's had Marvel Mystery Oil in it, so I don't know how full that has been, but it's been sitting on top of the pistons, and you could tell when it moved up and down that it had indeed seeped by. But that led me to another comment somebody made, which was, are you going to pull the pan? Yes. That was always in my plans, because in that one video, I don't know if I showed it or not, because I end up hacking so much stuff out of the videos, but you can tell somebody's had the plate off the bottom. So we need to go in there and see what it's like. And I wish I had done that before, getting it to turn over. But when you get on a roll and you get things happening, sometimes you forget what order you wanted to do it in. So I screwed up. So I might have just ruined this motor, you know, by doing that. Who knows? I don't think I really turned it over that much, but you know, who knows what kind of condition it's in. As rusty as that flywheel was, it got me to thinking too, the town I bought this in on the auction several years ago had a massive flood in town, where if this was sitting in the right spot, it would have been underwater. So I'm just wondering if it didn't get caught up in some of that, and that's why that's as rusty as it is, which makes me wonder how bad it is in there. But we'll dive into that in its own video at some point and see. But I don't think that when I looked at this, maybe I didn't even look at this, but I thought I did, I didn't think it looked too bad. Of course I can't do it by hand here, you know. Why would I? Why would I be able to get my fat German hand in a Italian dipstick? Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I screwed it up. I don't know. Well, okay, we'll just table that. That's a project for another day. We'll investigate what's in the rear end. But when I pulled the pump off, that oil didn't look, you know, like it was just pure milk coming out. But I guess the water could be so high in there that, you know, who knows. What I'm saying is, all said and done, I got almost nothing in this now. I sold the loader. I sold that hydraulic pump off of it. Even if it's garbage, you know, I whatever. I can put money into it, is what I'm saying, because I got nothing in it. So if I ruined that motor, I knew nothing about that motor anyway. So if it needs rebuilt, it needs rebuilt, you know. By the time we get it running, it probably is going to need rebuild anyway, because it probably won't be the best runner. I don't know. Time will tell. But what I'm saying is, don't get all caught up in a knot over that. You know, I screwed that up. I wish I had taken that off first and poured some oil in, but I didn't. So we'll just move on. It'll be fine, I promise. He brought his trailer in tow, so he must know. Well, it's Mama Bear's Homestead and More.
What's going on, Rocky Oliver, man?
Not too much. You're here to acquire some treasure.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Another man's junk's another man's treasure.
Well, you got, how many Simplicities do you think you got?
7 or 8, 9.
You still got that 110 or whatever that was from way back
That
when?
was my very first garden tractor I purchased from Ross Oliver.
There you go. And I think there's probably enough in this pile to build another one. But anyway, yeah, I was just showing that was what started this project, working on this building and then trying to clean it out to put my stuff in it, and I just got too much stuff.
Is this going to be the warehouse?
This is going to be my parts warehouse, and I got mountains of parts, so I got to focus my collection on one thing instead of 14 different things. So
totally understand that part.
But anyway, yeah, that's where we're at. So if you haven't seen before, check out his channel. I've linked it before and I'll link it again. Yeah. He does homesteading, Mama Bear's Homestead and More. Him and his wife do just about all kinds of stuff. I mean,
yeah, we specialize in nothing.
And nothing? Well, that's good. So that way, if you don't do it right, nobody can complain.
Honestly, we haven't had, I mean, we've had a little pushback, but not much at all. You know, the YouTube world can get kind of crazy sometimes.
Some people think they're experts from their easy chair, so, you know. But it's like I've said, I left a comment one time on somebody's, I checked out their YouTube channel and I didn't see one to do how to do it better, so, you know. Oftentimes the complainers just, I don't know, they don't have anything. Exactly. So
we always like to say, you know, we don't have failures, we just have experiments.
There you go.
Sometimes it works, sometimes it don't. But
and sometimes, I guess, or what I want to say is, some people are honest enough to put their failures on film, whereas a lot of times you see people don't put that. They cut out all the mistakes and they make it look like they're an expert the first time. And so at least you're getting honesty with some of this, you know. When you see me do something and forget to put oil in it or whatever, at least you know that wasn't done on purpose. So
that reminds me, I got a hose end I got to tighten when I get home.
Well, there you go. Alrighty, well, anyway, I figured we'd just introduce you on here and then we can get to work now. And
super happy at that. So
there we go. Alrighty, well, we'll get to work loading and then we'll go on to something else in the video. So
alright, keep on keeping on, friends.
See ya. Well, one of these days, hopefully the weather will straighten up where we can actually accomplish something, because I'm getting real sick of this constant back and forth with the weather. I mean, one day it's 80 degrees and you got to take off most of your clothes, and then another day, you know, it's back in the 40s and you got to bundle up like winter, and then it's windy like it is right now. So hopefully the time is coming soon when we can get something consistently done, because we got a lot of outside projects to do. But yeah, and a lot of this other side stuff is going to have to be squeezed in, because as soon as we can get in the field, we got to be doing that. But at the same rate, now that the guy brought the lift, we got to be doing that too. So anyway, it'll work out. It's just going to be a puzzle to squeeze it all in. But a day like today kind of is not very nice because you can't do anything. I can't work on buildings and be up in the air with pieces of roof because of the wind, and you know, it's just, you can't be in the field because it's wet. So it's really not very handy. There's just not a lot I can do. But also, I guess if I got to be sick, this is the time to do it, because yeah, the weather's not going to let me do anything else. So it'll be okay, I suppose. But I guess that's where we'll have to leave this video, and hopefully, like I said, something more interesting will come in the next one. Well, as always, folks, if you like what you saw, or even if you didn't, leave a comment. Tell me what you think. Tell me the stuff you want to see in the future so I know where to go with all this. If you did like it, hit the thumbs up. That's supposed to help. Who knows if it does, but it doesn't cost anything. So if you're so moved to do that, go for it. As always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.